Also, I just realized that I had chocolate on my nose that whole recording. You need chocolate on your down days. Say hi. Say hi.
She's like,
My smushy dog. Hey, this is Sammy Robbins from Alive and Free Consulting, and I am feeling pretty vulnerable today. I just went through processing through some of my own pain, and I feel really good and like I have a vulnerability hangover, but I also feel really hungry and connected to God. And that's my favorite part about processing through pain, is because the fruit of it always leads us to more connection and intimacy with God. Our pain puts up this wall and barrier, and it tells us to hide and to disconnect from God, even if we don't think or believe that up here. That's what we subconsciously do. And so I practice what I preach. I go after my own pain because I can only help anyone else if I'm constantly growing and healing myself. So I had a session with my life consultant, Justin Stumval. He mentored my husband for years, and he's a lot of the reason why we both are who we are today, but especially my husband. I give so much credit to who my husband is today because Justin helped him, you know, shave off some of his rough edges and heal some of the deep pain spots in his heart. So I went before him today processing through just feeling really drained by life in general. I've felt really depleted. I've been super exhausted. We've had all of these people visiting us, and I didn't really realize it, but I have this belief system where I feel like I need to give everything that I have away. And it's what marked a lot of my childhood. I was a model and a child actress, and my family lived off of me. And I know it wasn't their intention, but what was ingrained in me was that I get love if I'm constantly giving. So in this season of abundance that we're in, the business has taken off. We're getting to help and serve so many women, but it's produced so much fruit and given us so much freedom. And now that we have this abundance, I feel like, man, I have to give it away. I have this huge desire for generosity, and I think it's a really pure desire, but it also tackles and triggers a huge pain point for me, which is that people are entitled to what I have and that I have to give away what I have. And I don't let it be my motivator in a lot of the things that I do, but it ends up being the thing that comes up. So something that Justin was tackling with me today was ridding me from guilt. He just started praying over the guilt that I carry, that I owe people something and that I have to give away what I have, and that I have to be the provider and I have to be the one that pays and I have to be the one that takes care of things just because I have it. And it's just not true. But in my heart, I don't know that because I keep doing it over and over and over again. And so as he's tackling this guilt, I start just kind of realizing and recognizing I've given so much credit to, you know, what a good businessman Spence is. He's so good with marketing, and he understands people, and he understands business, and I'm good at inner healing because I've had to walk through so much of my own pain. But I've looked at, don't you bark, don't you bark. But I've looked at where we're at today, and I've equated it to, like, it's just the blessing of God, and we put in all this work, and Spence is good at business and I'm good at inner healing, and so that's why we're living in what we're living in today. And the truth is that it's not that I'm just lucky or super blessed or super special. The thing is that we all have opportunity. This is what Justin said to me that just set me straight. We all have opportunity. God has given every single one of us chances, but you just said yes over and over again. You paid the price, you've sacrificed, you said yes whenever it was really painful and hard, and you've continued to choose him, and you've continued to lean in. And I was bawling my eyes out at this point because this resonated with me so much, and I was realizing, like, man, I'm not just living in this, you know, super blessed life. It didn't just come. There were so many years that I had absolutely nothing. I couldn't afford college. I didn't even go to college, you guys, at all. I didn't even start college. Didn't even take my SATs in high school. Didn't even attempt to. I knew I couldn't afford it even if I did get in anywhere, and so it wasn't even worth, you know, putting the work in the first place. I didn't see any future in front of me at all. And I honestly didn't even think that God had a husband for me. I thought, no way is there going to be a man that I can even stand to even date long term. And yet I'm living in all of this abundance that blows my mind, and I can take credit for just saying yes. That's the only thing that I can take credit for. So the thing is that I was given opportunity and I said yes and I chose into it. But my question for you is, what is God putting in front of you where you have a choice? You either get to say yes or no. You're given opportunity all of the time, and God's waiting for people to say yes so that He can bless them. It doesn't mean it just happens. You still have to sacrifice. I've sacrificed so much. You still have to work hard. You still have to choose into painful processes, but it allows the blessing to come because you can sustain it because your character's been worked on and built. And so my question again is, what's God presenting to you that you can say yes to? Your yes to Him is what's going to determine the future that you live out and the future that you build. And lastly, if you're living in blessing and if you're working and you've fought and you've said yes to God, it's not on you to make that happen to everybody else and for everybody else. You don't have to give your opportunity away. You don't have to give your resources away. It's a gift and a blessing to be able to, but there's not a demand on you. You don't want to create a dynamic where you have leeches and you're the ultimate source for all these people around you. Create a space where they have to go to God themselves. Generosity is good. The abundance that you're living in is good, but you're not indebted to the people around you. So that's all. That's my process. I hope I said it better than my last 2 recordings. Bye, guys.